All right, guys. Now, one of the ways to avoid irrelevant losses in the market and then increase your win rate is by making use of entry confirmation. Now, I understand a lot of you guys have your different entry strategy in the market, but make sure that that entry strategy always has a confirmation. That is the signal that it is the right time to engage. And this video, I'm going to teach you guys one of the most effective entry strategy, one of the most effective entry confirmation strategy that you can start implementing, okay? And we are going to put it to work in this video on your live account. In fact, what I'm going to do, because right here on my screen, you can see I'm already on daily time frame on Euro US dollar. What I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go straight to execute my trade on my account without entry confirmation, all right? And then eventually I'm going to wait for the confirmation time and then engage. This is one thing you guys are going to observe when you start trading with confirmation. You will understand that there are some days that you are not supposed to engage the market because there is no entry confirmation. There is a popular saying in our mentorship program that no confirmation, no entry. So I'm just going to go straight now. This is Euro US dollar. Of course, those of you that have been following me, you know how to frame direction. If you don't know how to frame direction of the market, I'll still go to throw more light on it. But obviously, we know that, okay, these are shown bullishness, willingness to go to the upside on Euro USD. So without confirmation, I'll just go straight to any of my trading accounts here. All these ones, they are active account that's holding trade. But I will execute it on this NAS 100 because I know I closed some trade on this account. So I'm going to click on trade, go straight to SLS terminal because there is no time for me to go to MetaTrader 5 right now. Then we're going to do it right now on this web terminal. Okay, yeah, I'm going to execute the trade right here. Okay, now perfect. So I'm going to click on Euro US dollar without confirmation. Let's just execute a buy position. Let me just use 0.01 lot size. Then without stop loss, don't worry. Okay, let me just modify the stop loss. Put it at let me say I will use 30 pip stop loss for this. Okay, without confirmation. So this is what I'm risking. Then I don't want to put take profit. So it's already modified. Now let us go back to the chart. Let's refine this thing on lower time frame. But first of all, let me teach you guys how this confirmation works. Okay, if I go to 1 hour time frame, you observe. Let me remove all this drawing first. On this 1 hour time frame, you will notice that it is not even yet time to execute that trade because the best time to execute your trade is during the key zone moment of the market. You can take a look at all the shaded area on my chart. These are the best time to execute your trade. These are the period of the market that the move always gets started. For like yesterday, this bearish move started during the London key zone. This bearish move on Friday started during the London key zone. This one, I swear, started during the London key zone. You can take a look. This one started in New York key zone. So I am interested to take my trade inside this shaded area. That is the most important thing, especially if you are, you love trading with ICT concept. This is ICT key zone moment, all right? London key zone, New York key zone, London key zone, New York key zone. Now, there is an indicator that shows this shaded area for me to make it easy, but ordinarily, you are supposed to do it manually by taking your vertical line. Make sure your time is New York time zone, all right? You can see how I change it to New York time zone. Then put a vertical line at 2 a.m. in the morning or 1 a.m. in the morning, but usually I love to use 2 a.m. in the morning. From now going forward, okay, from this 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Let me use 1 a.m. because that is the one most ICT students make use of. So from this 1 a.m. to this 5 a.m., that is when I am interested to place the trade. And you trade in alignment with your direction for the day. Remember how I said the direction is bullish, which means looking for buying opportunity. Now, if I don't see the entry here during the London key zone, all I need to do is move to the next part of the day, which is 7 a.m., all right? And I'm going to change the color from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, all right? Then I should be able to see the entry here. If I don't see it here, that should be the end of the day. Then I wait for the next day to look for my entry opportunity. Now, the first thing someone's going to ask is, all right, what do we need to see inside this, London key zone or New York key zone before we press that button? Remember how I just went straight to hit this buy button, and yet there is no confirmation for me. All right. Sometimes it works out if you hit the buy button without confirmation. Sometimes it doesn't work out. All right. Because one of the reasons why it works out if you don't use confirmation is because of direction. Direction will always prevail over entry. But it is best for us to use confirmation so that we don't end up losing money. All right. Now, what we need to see inside this box. By the way, those of you that doesn't have this, indicator on your chart, this is the name of the indicator. It will save you from doing all these things manually every day. Just come to under your indicator section. You see the name is ICT Key Zone Bosses. All right. Then if you add it, it will not look like mine because you have to modify it. You go to settings. All right. You click on this icon that shows settings. So when you click on it, it's going to load up, and I'm going to show you guys my settings so that your own can look exactly like my own. Once you have this indicator on your chart, guys, trust me, your trading will be very, 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 very easy and very, very effective. All you need to do is wait for the time of the day, smash it. Wait for the time of the day, smash it. It helps you to erase so many noises in the market, non-relevant price action. For example, here to here, you don't have any business in the market anymore from this part to this part. Even outside this box from here to here, you don't have any business. So by default, it's going to look like this. All these things will be checked when you add it to your chart. You can see how it's looking like so crazy. So what you need to do is uncheck every of these boxes, uncheck every one of them, and then leave only the fee middle and then the fee middle. The fee middle means the London key zone and then the New York key zone. So you can change the color, like mine is yellow, all right? You can decide to make your London key zone red if you love it, but I just want to make use of yellow, just the way I love it, okay? So by the time you are done with all this setup, you click OK. You can modify the input. I usually love to use 2 a.m., but you can make use of 1 a.m. if you are an added ICT student. It is from 1 a.m., not 2 a.m. So you click OK, and then let's take a look at what we need to see inside of this box before we can take our trade. Now, there are a lot of things you can do inside of these boxes, this London and New York session. So let's assume this is my London key zone, this is my New York key zone, okay? Now, the first thing you need to understand is that the high and the low of the day will be printed inside of this London key zone. Take note of that word. I was not the one who invented it. It was ICT himself that invented this, that the low and the high of the day should be printed inside of this London key zone. Now, 80% of the time, not all the time, 80% of the time, the high and low of the day will be inside this London key zone. What that actually means is that if it's going to be a bullish day, all right, this is where the market will turn and then move to the upside. This is where it will turn to move to the upside for the day. So whenever you want to trade and then it's not yet time, for example, it's not yet time for this London key zone, and you are seeing all this price action going lower, going lower, going lower like this, you don't engage because the market will still go lower to print. The lowest price action will be inside of this key zone moment. That is why if I want to do account flipping, if I want to do stacking in the market, maybe I just want quick money, what I do is I just wait for the low of the day to be printed inside of this London key zone, and then instantly I start smashing this order back to back because I know the direction of the day is bullish and the low of the day is already printed. Now, the question is, how will you know? For example, you see this day. You can see it was even close to where I'm doing the example without even me thinking about it. I've not even started giving you guys example. You see, high of the day printed during the London key zone. And this was a bearish day because the whole price action traded to the downside. You see this week, that was when price printed high of the day. All right. And then from there going forward, that's why I said with this key zone, with this indicator, you don't struggle as a trader. For me, I just wait, let the market print the low of the day, and then I start smashing this. Now, how will you know the low of the day is printed or the high of the day is printed? I won't just come here to explain it to you guys. I want to give example with the real life market. Now, if you observe this, for example, this one that we saw that gave a typical high of the day. Now, if you take a look at this candle, actually, it's even the beginning of the key zone moment. But remember, I am using 2 a.m. That's why I said you guys should use 1 a.m. All right. So if I use the original time that ICT, taught this stuff, you will see that this thing eventually, you can see, I've adjusted it, eventually came inside the key zone moment. Now, the question is, how do you know that this is the high of the day? It's very easy. Since you already know the direction is bearish, all right, this day is going to be bearish. What you need to do is, first of all, let there be an opposite movement against the direction, because without opposite movement, it's difficult for you to make decision on high and low of the day, even though there's another way to do it, but I'm not going to teach it in this video. All right, let's focus on this very one. So you make sure the move is against the direction, which is bullish. All right, this is what I'm saying. If your direction for that day is bearish, make sure what you are seeing before the key zone is a bullish movement like this, so that the high of the day can easily be spotted. You know that, okay, the market has been going to the upside. This move, all right, inside the zone shows that the market has printed the high of the day, and then you know the direction of the day, which is bearish, which is in alignment to the direction of the day. You start smashing it. Now, my favorite way of doing it is, once I see this engulfing candle here, I usually make use of 30 minutes time frame. I don't want to go to 30 minutes time frame. But once I see this engulfing candle here that engulfed the last candle before the key zone, then I start smashing it. The completion of the engulfing candle is this one here. This one here, this 3 a.m. candle. All right, that is the completion of this engulfing candle. Then from here going, let me indicate it for you guys. All right, from here going to the downside, just keep pressing the buy, just keep pressing the sell button. If you want to stack or flip account, just keep pressing the sell button. Now, with this explanation, all right, we want to invert it for a bullish day, just like today. Now, I will go to my most recent price action now, okay? And then I'm going to clear my chart. Let's take a look at, let me just flip it to the left-hand side and then go to 30 minutes time frame, and you can see, all right, it's a bullish day. Now, with what I've explained to you guys, do you think it was right for me to come here and then hit this buy button, you know, at the early start of this video? Do you think it was right for me, or you think I could have just waited more? The answer is very, very obvious. Waited more. For example, you see this move now. If this move had engulfed this, you know, close above this, then we know that, okay, there's winningness. This could be the low of the day for us to start smashing this thing. If not, there's every tendency that this thing will keep going lower, all right? Maybe New York will form the low of the day. Now, does that mean that this trade is now invalid? I should press this, you know, I should press this start button to close it? No, it's not invalid. The reason is because now there are many ways to trade, all right? Like, you can trade as a day trader or as an investor. This trade right now, what I'm going to do is just modify the stop, okay? Make this thing 40 pip, all right? That's another way to do this stuff if you don't want to do entry confirmation. Now, with this 40 pip stop, there's enough range for whatever that want to take place in this market. If you want to go as low as you want to go, as downward as you want to go, there's no problem, because there's enough range for my stop. So the trade can play out eventually. Even if the low of the day want to take place here, no problem. If you want to take place next, maybe New York session, no problem. This trade will survive whatever price action that the market present. Now, if, however, the market get confirmed during this London key zone, all I just need to do is just come here, hit more buy orders, like here on Euro USD, click buy. But that is exactly what I told my team this morning. Let me even share it with you guys, all right? Because we have already taken our first trade without confirmation, and then we are waiting for confirmation. After the confirmation, trust me, we are going to smash this thing back to back. You know, let me share with you guys my Signal platform. You see that most of my students are already holding this trade. Now, why are they holding this trade? Is because we have already analyzed the direction of the market. That is this video you just seen here, 16 minutes. There are a lot of things going on Grace FS community, you know, our private mentorship community. There's nobody that is here that will learn everything about it, unless you are not interested in forex trading. So long you have the passion to be a forex trader, this is the best trading community you have to be in, because a lot of things, you can imagine somebody sending Signal with 16 minutes, and you know, it's not just all about Signal. It's not just all about, you know, analysis. It's more of how to be a good trader, be a good manager, because with this video, I will tell you this is the time to engage it. Once we have already engaged it, like this one, we engage without confirmation. There's no way this market will go to the upside unless the direction of the market has changed, all right? And then we are already, that is why this video you are seeing here, because I explained it to these guys that when the direction change, all we need to do is to wait for another opportunity. And with this short video you are seeing here, there are a lot of trading instruments. For example, more of JPY instrument, gold, SAUSD, NAS 100. We are looking at all of these assets. Once it's the right time, we just start engaging it, and then that is just how we trade, guys. So if you want to be part of our community, it's very, very easy and very affordable. There's a WhatsApp link in the description part of this video, on the comment section of this video. Use it to chat up my admin regarding mentorship. First of all, it's more of mentorship than signal, right? My signal is just to encourage these guys and then help them to make money while they are learning, but it is more of mentorship. So you will have a lifetime mentorship asset when you enroll. So I will see you guys in our trading community. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, and then be expecting more of this quality content every week for you guys to level up your trading this year. I will see you guys next upload. Peace.